Hey dolls, welcome back to my channel. My name's Will. I'm the owner of Shop Will Beauty. I'm a wig designer and stylist, and I sell my styles and lace fronts online at shopwillbeauty.com. I've had a lot of questions on how I style my signature finger wave style. So I thought I'd show you guys how I do the entire process, start to finish, using synthetic wigs from Shop Will Beauty. So let's just jump right into it. Let me show you what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a wig head. I have a wig stand. You can have a wig clamp, anything to secure your wig head down. 1 1/8 inch rollers. You can buy them on Amazon from the company Diane. 3-inch pearl head pins. You're also gonna need a synthetic wig. This wig is a 26-inch. The style name is Evelyn at shopwillbeauty.com, and the color is ash blonde. This is my favorite color that we offer. So here I have my wig head on my wig stand. I'm gonna take my wig. This is all very basic. So we're gonna put the Evelyn style right on her. We're gonna wanna make sure she's nice and centered. Some people use smaller pins for this. You don't have to use the pearl head pins, but I just like to have only one pin to keep myself organized, so I just use the same thing for everything. And then of course you're gonna wanna pin some in the back. So I just part her wherever I want, and you can go on the other side and part the other way, or you can do a middle part with this technique. You'll just have to adjust your roller set accordingly. And when she looks good, we're ready to start pinning in the rollers. So with this hair, we're rolling it in this direction, going this way. So it's literally going in the direction that you want the hair to fall. And then the rollers on this section want to fall to the left, and then every other roller falls away from the face. When I take my sections, I make them about the length and the width of one of my rollers. So I place the hair down on the hairline, like so, and then I take my brush and I go right along the edge of the roller and pull up. And then in terms of the length of the section, I look at the roller. Here I can add a bit more, so I'm going to take this little bit of section right here. I pull all the way in the other direction. I get my ends nice and tamed. I can't be tamed, Miley, what's good? And then we roll her nice and neatly. There. Next we're going to take 2 pins, one for the front, one for the back, and she is nice and secured in there. So we're going to repeat that again, just one space over. So again, we're getting a section about the length and the width of the roller, pulling it as far back as we can in the other direction, wrapping our ends around the roller and neatly rolling it all in and pinning her into place. So I'm going to speed this up and do this entire section, section number 1. So now we're going to do the other side of the part. So we're going to take the same exact size section and roll it in the opposite direction that we just did. So the hair will roll this direction. So now we need to take the same rollers and the same size sections and have the hair fall away from the face. So every single roller that we're about to do goes in the same direction. I'm going to take 2 sections at the uppermost part of the head. So here we have now these 2 sections, 1, 2, rolling away from the face. So now I'm literally just going to do the same thing in the same direction with the same size sections on the rest of the head. So here we have 2 rows now. I'm just stopping to show you reference. This was the first row of the back that we did, and this is the second. And all of the hair, again, is rolling away from the face. These rollers will line up with some of the first ones you did. So see how this roller here, from the front of the wig, flows right into these, and then flows back into the other side. Okay, so now all of the hair is up in these rollers. It's all nice and neat for the most part. So with synthetic hair, I recommend using steam. Steam is amazing for synthetic hair. It allows you to heat up the hair super hot, so then it can cool down and reset into the new pattern that it's in. So the way you're gonna wanna do that, either get a handheld steamer, a big steamer, whatever you can, and then you are going to, you can do this however you want. You're gonna have to jerry-rig it. It's gonna be kind of a mess, but this is just how you do it. I just use 1 trash bag, throw her over the wig. I have my steamer up and going. I'm gonna do this off camera, but I'm just gonna show you how I do it. You're gonna take your steamer, wrap this around and close it tight, and then you're gonna sit here for like 5 minutes. I know that wig was ash blonde. This is an orange ginger color, and I have the same exact roller pattern, same exact thing. The only difference is the hair color. This has already been steamed. It was steamed like a day or 2 ago, so she's ready to be styled. After you steam the wigs, you really have to let them cool down and dry. So for teasing, you're really gonna wanna make sure you have some super high hold hairspray. So I always have 2 different styles. I have a spritz hairspray, which is non-aerosol, and I use Pump It Up for that. And then for aerosol, I use Got To Be, or I use any other high hold aerosol hairspray. Next, we're gonna take our teasing brush, and we are going to let down the rollers each row at a time. So here's this bottom row. And you see how bouncy this curl is. So what you're gonna do is brush out the section, and then I kind of have a little technique here. So you're gonna take the section from underneath, you're going to go from the top with your teasing brush all the way down, and then you're gonna just kind of make it big and fluffy by teasing it lightly throughout, not too much. Do the same thing again with the other section. Just make it nice and fluffy. And then what you're gonna do is pull both sections, get rid of any weird little knots that just look like they're not in the right place. And then you're gonna take your teasing brush and go about halfway or wherever you see like the most hair gathered and push it all the way down. After that's done, take your hairspray. I'm just gonna use the spritz from Pump It Up. Get her nice and sprayed on both sides and leave her be. So we're gonna take the next row, which is 3 rollers. So pretty much as you go up, you're gonna start gathering more and more hair in each row. And this is why we made all of our rollers super neat and in line with each other. Lightly tease the section. Do that for each one. Then what I do is I'll take 2 sections at a time, tease them together, really gathering it at that root, and then take another section into it. So this section is good. We're gonna spritz her and move on. So now that we've done those first 3 like lines of hair, we're gonna kind of gather this together lightly to kind of neaten ourselves up before we move on. Taking your teasing brush, just lightly place your hand on top of the head to secure it down. and brush starting from the roots all the way to the bottom, and we're good to move on. So we're going to move on to this next row. Leave these 3 rollers, we're going to deal with them last. Now we're going to just take out the rest of these rollers except for these 3, so we're going to do this row, and then this back one in the middle, tease those out, and then I'll show you what to do next. So when I'm doing this much brushing, I like to have one of these kind of fluffier, lighter teasing brushes, but the regular old rat tail plastic one is good. This one's really nice. I think I got it on Amazon. So the reason why I like this better is because it doesn't brush as much of the hair up as the other one. It's a little better at smoothing without removing so much volume. So now that we have this hair nice and teased, we want to brush it out to get rid of the frizziness, but we want to be able to maintain that curl pattern and volume at the same time. So I just like to kind of start with the front on one side. Remember, I'm brushing all the way to the ends of the hair. I'm not going bam, 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 bam. No, all the way down, doll. So now we can really start working on those finger waves. So what we're gonna do is use our hands to hold the curls in place. So we're gonna start here, and you can kind of see the curl is already defined. And when you look at the front, meanwhile, make sure both of the front sides look fairly neat. You'll see that the roller ends here. The wave just ends right there, so you can follow that and just go with it. And really hold it nice and tight. I have it really tight between my thumb and my pointer finger. And then we're just gonna do that all the way around. So now you're gonna want a bunch of duckbill clips. They're about 2 or 3 inches. And they're this size. You don't want the little size. You want the duckbill clips. You can buy them in large quantities online. So what I'm gonna do, this wave right here, bam, we're gonna take that clip and secure her in place. And we're gonna do that all the way around the wig. You can honestly leave this because we're gonna go back and play with this section a little later. We're really just focused on the back right now. Move on to that next wave. So pretty much at this point, you can decide if you want to leave these curls bouncy and free, or if you want to maybe do another wave or 2 of the finger waves. I'm going to do one more. I like to leave a little bit of fluffiness at the end. It makes it easier to maintain and easier to ship. But let's add one more just so you guys can see. So now we have these nice finger waves all set in place. I'm just going to take a little bit of hairspray, and now we're just going to deal with the front. So we're going to start with this little section. I noticed I kind of lost some of the volume. It's kind of moved down the hair to here. I need to just pull that. And you really just kind of need to listen to the hair sometimes, like especially in the front. Kind of got to let the waves dictate themselves sometimes. I mean, you can always kind of fudge with it, but getting super nitpicky like isn't helping anyone. Okay, pin this in place, and all of these waves are going to line up with these clips. This is going to be pretty much the same. The only reason why I didn't do this with everything else is because this section is like the most important to getting that signature finger wave look, and it almost needs to rest on top of everything else. And by making it its own teased piece, it makes upkeep and maintenance and refreshing it much easier. So we're going to take all of these out. first take about a third of the roller along the front. This is a little different. So it's like this. And this is just gonna help kind of reduce any roller marks, because as you see here, there's a space between each roller and we don't want that. So I just kind of tease this section a little bit to kind of get rid of that, and then we're good to move on. So now it'll look a little messy, but it's okay because we're hiding and we're doing some illusions over here. So we're gonna take the first section and now we've got these 3 sections. And now we're gonna tease them all together. I always just brush it out a little bit to get everything kind of on the same page. So we've got this, and now we're gonna tease it from every direction a lot. Pretty much wanna tease it until she stands up on her own. When she stands up on her own, tease her more. So tease her even more. We want this a gorgeous big finger wave. This is like the first thing people see on the wig. So we do that, just a dusting of hairspray. We can switch to our other brush and finish up this doll. So I always start with the front. And then I go underneath, behind, and then I really just start brushing this top section. Now I just kind of am guiding the hair like up and around so we can get this here, and then, you know, we're just really, it's hard to explain, but you need to kind of just brush the hair in a way that you can guide these finger waves to fall how you want them to. And you have a lot of options. You can pull the hair forward and cover an eye for a very sultry look. I kind of cheat it back a little bit so it's not so in your face, and usually have it fall there, and it just helps with the hairline of the wig and makes it really gorgeous. So now we're ready for some clips for this first wave. You're pretty much done with the brushing and teasing and all of that. So kind of take a clip to reinforce that front little swoop on both sides of the part. Now, you're going to want to take your hairspray, both of them, and douse, literally, in these hairsprays. First I go in with the spritz. Then I go in with the aerosol. Like a lot. This is some drag hair and we want her to stay. And you're going to want to take a hairdryer and use heat to set that hairspray in place like some goddamn cement. As you do this, use your hands to set any flyaways, and you can like really kind of lay any flyaways down so it's perfectly smooth and beautiful, and the heat helps you kind of guide those flyaways to lay down. Alright, so now that we have everything set and in place, you can remove the duckbill clips if you want. If you're going right to the gig, take them out. I always recommend taking the clips out after you get to the gig, put them back in and then transport them. Don't just throw your wigs into a bag. It's not gonna help them last long term. But as you can see, we used a lot of these clips, so having those in handy is good. And yeah, all the things are lining up and look gorgeous. And I am going to take out these clips and kind of show you a final look and a before and after, and we'll wrap right up. Okay, so this is our final look. She is stunning. She's beauty, she's great, she's Miss United States. She's America's Next Drag Superstar. She's here to show you how it's done. And I'm obsessed. This is the look that kind of I made my brand off of. I just had a bunch of looks just like this in a ton of different colors, and they kept selling and selling and selling. And now I'm a full-time wig designer, and I'm selling wigs to everyone, like all over the world. It's really amazing. So I'm really grateful that you guys have been giving me that business and that attention and that support. So I want to give something back to you guys so you can take my wigs. All of my wigs are made to be styled. They are built with layering. They aren't just long strands of hair plopped onto a wig cap. They're high quality synthetic wigs, 180% density, unique hairlines. And yeah, having that layering built into the wig style helps you so much with a finger wave. If all of the hair is super long, one length, it's hard for the hair to hold these curls. When you have layering, it kind of reduces the weight so it doesn't pull down on itself. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. My wigs also are meant to just be teased out from out of the bag, and I'd love to show you guys a video on how to tease out my different styles for a gorgeous over-the-top drag look. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you really liked it and I hope it was useful. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below. You can always message me on Instagram. It's at ShopWillBeauty. And if you started doing this and you're like, girl, this isn't for me, let me tell you something. I'm a wig designer and I sell wigs. I sell lace fronts that are unstyled that I have designed myself, and I sell custom styles. So if you want to order a finger wave wig, you can go right to my website, shopwillbeauty.com, click on custom styles, pick your favorite wig, and it'll be on your doorstep usually within a month. So if you have any questions, again, comment below, message me on Instagram at shopwillbeauty. I do giveaways and sales and super amazing offers for my customers, and you'll find all of that on my Instagram. Alright dolls, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see more wig videos as soon as they come out. Toodles!